It's Thursday night, so you know what that means. Welcome to the Highspots virtual gimmick table. I, of course, am the guru, Tommy Thomas, here with my very special guest, he's incredible. We've known this guy around here for like almost a decade now, but I'll let him introduce himself to all of you fans out there.
Trevor Lee, here we are at the Highspots. What is this called again? Virtual gimmick table. And boy, do we have some cool things on the table here today.
Yeah, we do. But they'll see all that later. This time is about you. This time is about you right now.
All
So
right.
I have a list of names / questions. You can talk for as long or as little as you want about said topic.
Nothing's off the table. Bring it on.
The first name, Little Dragon.
Little Dragon, formerly known as the American Dragon, until he found out that Bryan Danielson was the American Dragon. Long, luxurious career, I guess you could say, for the Little Dragon. Started in Carthage, North Carolina at the fairgrounds against a man named Ty Tyson. And what a match he had, that American Dragon. That was the only night that he wrestled as the American Dragon, where then he learned about Bryan Danielson and then had to spend another year and a half of his career as the Little Dragon, who then became Trevor Lee. Here we are. How embarrassed I was to find out that there was already American Dragon. I really thought I had something there. I thought that.
You did.
I really thought I had something there.
You did. Someone just beat you to the punch. That's it.
By like 8 years.
Matt and Jeff, the Hardys.
So Matt and Jeff, my fondest memories are of Matt and Jeff Hardy. My father, Tracy Cadell, was a founder with Matt Hardy with Omega Championship Wrestling. So the ring for that promotion was in my yard. So when I was born, Matt Hardy was actually at the hospital there to see me be born. He was at every one of my birthday parties. There was actually one time, I think I was like 7 or 8 years old. I had some of the kids over from elementary school, and then Matt Hardy and Lita showed up. Lita was wearing some zebra pants that day. All the kids remember that day. For the rest of our lives, we will remember that day. So Matt and Jeff have always been so special to me. I remember riding on the back of Jeff's motorcycles and dirt bikes. It was so cool. My father was actually an extra the night that they first won the tag team titles. You can go back and see that. There's an EMS guy that talks with JBL and says, "Mr. JBL, you can't go out there. You're too hurt from the night before." And JBL says, "Shut up," and punches him in the face. My dad would tell me about that so many times. He was so proud of that, and that was so cool. That was also when I got to meet The Rock as a kid. I told The Rock, "Don't be a jabroni. Eat your raviolis." So I was always destined for this business.
Oddly specific. Eat your raviolis.
Yeah,
I like that.
That was a great commercial back in the day.
Speaking of TC Flexer.
Oh yeah, the man that sacrificed everything to make sure that I could be here today. My father, again, the man. Everything he did was for me, and he accomplished it. So much more than he could ever possibly imagine. I love my father with all my heart, and as I sit here, you'll see tears come to my eyes because I miss him truly, and I love him truly. And shout out TC Flexer.
On a lighter note, the Chiva Kid.
The Chiva Kid, this dirty dog. Tag him, Adam. So when I was actually the Little Dragon at the time, I was 14 years old wrestling in Sanford, North Carolina. And boy, did I thought I was the dog back then. And I did a lot more high flying techniques. And I heard rumors of this kid that was actually 15 years old and was absolutely incredible. Was the best high flyer people have ever seen in their entire lives. And I was like, this can't be true. There's no one, especially my age, like that doing it in North Carolina. Then I got the opportunity through Jeff Rudd, who we see here in the Highspots community on Boxomania. If we have time, I will give a story of where the Boxomania actually came from, where the name of that actually came from.
Oh, please do.
We have a story for that. But I remember Jeff Rudd was the promoter for CWF Mid-Atlantic, and at 14 years old, I said, "Jeff, I would like to wrestle for CWF Mid-Atlantic," and he said, sorry, but you're a little bit too young. We cannot book kids like that. So then I told him about TC Flexer, my father. He knew my father. And he said, you know what? We have an RGL show. Come on by. And RGL, Rising Generation League. So I came, and that's where I first got to see the Chiva Kid live in action. And holy shit, he was incredible. And this is before the show even started. This was just like in the ring, like messing around. Like, this kid was incredible. And who we now know as Andrew Everett, holy shit, this kid was incredible. And from that, even before the show started, I told my dad, I was like, we have to come here as much as we possibly can because I need to be in the ring with this kid as much as I possibly can. And we accomplished that, and I love Chiva Kid. You got me up here crying. You said it on a lighter note, and I'm still crying.
I'm sorry. No, that wasn't like. I mean,
that's genuine.
I mean, yeah, like it's because you're
I'm
a good
a sucker.
dude.
I'm a
and
sucker.
Like, yeah. Speaking of, you've already said this name a few times, Coach Gemini.
Coach Gemini. Old Jeff Rudd. Again, a second father to me. This guy really taught me how to be a good person and how to like interact with people. Like I said in the last story, I thought I was somebody. At 14, I thought I was somebody. I thought I was good. You know what I mean? And that attitude carried over into how I acted in real life. And Jeff Rudd was the person that was able to communicate that with me and how to be a good person. And really, that's all you could ever ask for, right? Yeah. So since he's already on the topic, let's lead into Boxomania.
Yes, of course. Boxomania.
So Boxomania now is known as the Great Show on the Highspots Network, where you can get a box. It's a mystery box, right?
Yes.
Which is a great idea. That's really cool, especially with how much product we have in this warehouse.
Yes.
You could literally close your eyes, spin in a circle, and touch something and be like, "What? This is awesome." So anything that you get in these boxes is an incredible thing. Now, the Boxomania story. My best friend, Robert Walsh, he was a referee at CWF Mid-Atlantic.
I was going to say that name.
Yep.
Oh, you got me to
Yep.
it. Shouts to you, Robbie.
Yeah, we'll still give him his babyface promo in a second. We would run a birthday party for him, and we would close the sportatorium down, and it would be like a private show. And in these shows, there may or may not have been, some intoxication, right? They weren't the safest shows, but again, we weren't running them in front of fans. They were only for us, our friends. So we may have drank a couple beers during the show and whatnot. So we would have like a national anthem where we would all pop beers and drink everything. But the main event to Robbie Walsh's birthday bash was always Boxomania. The main event was always Boxomania. We would go out and we would get as many cardboard boxes as we could possibly find in the town. And then we would bring them back to the sportatorium and we would construct these crazy scaffold-like things and these crazy big things. And then we would be a little hammered and then we would just do the craziest wrestling moves you could ever imagine through these cardboard boxes. One time there was a bottle on the pole match. You had to climb the ladder and drink out of the bottle until the bottle was empty. That was how the match ended. But it was also Boxomania. So Boxomania started as this wild chaos of a match, and is now what we all love as the Mystery Box Show.
It's a monthly show here at Highspots.
Shout out Highspots for keeping the tradition alive.
The Purple Penguin.
Oh my goodness. The Purple Penguin was like my really only ever shoot job, where I served frozen yogurt. God, what a nightmare that was. So at the time, I was only in Burlington, North Carolina, and I needed a job because I wasn't really making money wrestling. And then when I had the opportunity to make money wrestling, the people wouldn't want to pay me. So I had to have a shoot job at this frozen yogurt place, and it was just drive me crazy cleaning up sprinkles after these little kids running around. And I would just have to clean up sprinkles all day long. And then I got the shot to wrestle at PWG, and it catapulted my life into professional wrestling to where then I was now traveling every weekend, but I still wasn't really making that much money. So I still had to kind of work at Purple Penguin for a couple months after I was like traveling the world. And then it made it so much harder to clean up those sprinkles after like getting, you know what I mean? Like the craziest reactions you could get, like, please come back, Matt, all this cool stuff. And then like the sound of sprinkles hitting the counter and just knowing like they're not going to pick that up. So shout out Purple Penguin for keeping me alive for about a year there.
You go from being a rock star all around the world to like, all right, kid, come on, at least aim for the cup.
Yeah, but I ate the heck out of some samples. I was a sample king.
Speaking of PWG, Kevin Steen, now currently known as Kevin Owens.
Yeah, so Charlotte, North Carolina, I wrestled a show, PWX. Actually, it was Pro Wrestling Evo at the time is what it was called. And Kevin Steen was on the show, and I wrestled Cedric Alexander that night. And I always loved working Cedric Alexander. He was another one of those guys, just like the Chiva Kid, who absolutely inspired me to just be so good. There was that time, I wish I knew the exact years. I'm sure someone could figure it out, of North Carolina, where it was, it was me, it was Andrew Everett, it was Cedric Alexander, it was Adam Page, Caleb Conley, you know what I mean? And then they had, other guys coming in, the Chip Days and stuff like that. But there was a time where there was just so much good talent coming into North Carolina that even if you were the fifth best person in North Carolina, you were better than every other state in the country. Like, we were putting out, like, talent. So me and Cedric just had a match like we like to do with each other. Like, our styles fit well with each other. We both like to, kind of hit hard but be fast and that type of stuff. And I remember Kevin after the match being like, yeah, that was really good. I think that you would do great in PWG. And me, at the time, being a PWG mark and Ring of Honor mark or whatever words you want to use there, I was just like, I would love to be a PWG. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I think that would be awesome.
No. Who wants to go there?
Right.
Like...
But then, like, then nothing, like, ever came of it. It was, like he said, like, I think he would be a good fit. But then, there was never a follow-up. And then, like, about a year later, Cedric Alexander texts me, and he goes, hey, I need your email address. And at this time, like, again, I'm not being booked anywhere, so this is already, like, a weird question. Like, what do you need my email address for? So, like, I sent him my email address back, and he's like, oh, we're being booked for PWG this Saturday. And it was, like, Sunday. And I'm like, what the, like, wait, what? Like, are you trolling? Like, is there a Piedmont wrestling group, like, in North Carolina or something? You know what I mean? Like, this has got to be a troll. He's like, no, I think we're on PWG, but don't say anything because it's, like, a mystery show. Okay. So then, like, the reason he needed my email was because I got a flight. And then I'm like, okay, so my first flight for wrestling is going to be completely across the country. And it's because of Kevin Steen. And we went there. We did that triple threat match. We blew the roof off the place. And then he gave me his final match on his way going to WWE. We still talk now. He inspired me to buy the car that I drive now, Corvette C8. Was inspired by Kevin. Kevin's the man, and I can never say anything bad about him.
Heck yeah, we love him around here. We really do. You can't mention Steen and you can't mention Cedric without mentioning Caleb Conley.
Caleb Conley. Boy, I drove him absolutely crazy the first few years of my career. I know I did. So I'd gotten like a kind of like a car accident when I was younger, and it kind of like scarred me for a little bit there, where I was like scared to like drive. Like, that was kind of a P word about driving. So then Caleb got to be like the lucky guy that would be the driver for me, and it would be like me, Everett, and like the Bravado brothers, and I would never drive, but they would drive. So there was heat there. They all hated me, so I would just try to make them laugh to kind of like negate that heat. But again, Caleb was a part of that group of the guys where it was just like, holy crap, like, these guys are so cool. I remember the first time I saw Caleb like actually go to Japan for like 0-1, I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. And it was like shortly right after that was Wrestle Reunion, was like was when Highspots really started getting into like the convention atmosphere, when they were doing like the Los Angeles shows.
Yes.
So this was like the first one I think of those I was at. And I remember Caleb had just gotten back from Japan, and I ran into him in the gym, and I was like, can I work out with you? Because I knew, like, if he just got back from Japan, this guy's got it figured out, like, he knows what he's doing. And then Caleb just, like, put me through a workout at, like, midnight in LA, just this, like, random night. And I wasn't even really a person at the time. Like, I mean, I was, like, a trainer or a trainee. I was wrestling, but, like, so he knew of me. But for him to like do that was very special for me at the time. And then we went on to work in Impact together, where we like got to tag together. So then like we got to build an even better bond there. And now me and Caleb were pretty close. I think I really like Caleb a lot, and I think that he's still the man.
Yeah, absolutely. We love him around here. Obviously, we see him every single day.
He's working hard back here, boys.
Joaquin Wilde.
Joaquin Wilde is such an enigma in this business. The stories around this guy are so crazy. Like there's one going around right now where like when he was 16, he designed like the original Ring of Honor logo.
Yes.
It's like just so bizarre. Like how many like little stories he has like that are just so bizarre. He's just such a special human. And like I still talk to him every day. We still train together pretty frequently. Man, what a guy. And as soon as I got into Impact, this was my first time like being in a world where like the cameras actually matter. You know what I mean? Like you go to indie shows and like there's a hard cam.
Yeah.
But you may not see the footage. Like even for PWG, like you wouldn't see the footage for 6 months until after the thing was out. So it's like we weren't working for the cameras. So like this is my first time working for a TV company. So like you know what I mean? I'm at the time I think I'm 20 years old. So like I'm nervous, and I don't really know any of these guys. And Joaquin Wilde was one of the guys that immediately just like became my best friend. Like in the first day that we met, like we were just best friends. And then we had to do a lot of those X Division matches together, and we were doing like those crazy Ultimate X's and 8-mans and all the different things that Impact did there for a while. And we were always together for that. And then it was crazy how our paths, we both left Impact and did the Indies, and we both ended up in WWE, and we just always kind of kept crossing paths. And truly one of my best friends in the business. So I absolutely love Michael Paris.
Really a cool dude. Genuinely a cool dude. Terry Taylor.
Frick! Terry Taylor is awesome. He gets, well, at least it seems like he gets, like, people are like, oh, frick, you got Terry as your producer. But I don't think anyone ever actually says that to his face, because Terry's got the right hand of God, and he will uncork it on you. Terry was so much fun. So at the Performance Center, the WWE Performance Center, a part of your training as an NXT talent is called Skull Sessions, and that's basically where you sit in with your coach and the rest of your class, and you watch the matches that you either did that weekend or your TV match, and then your coach kind of breaks it down for you and tells you like, well, this was wrong, you look stupid here, and not that bad, but Terry kind of does, yeah. and I love that, you know what I mean? Like I love that because it just shows like his passion. Like when Terry's like talking about these matches and talking about like what he thinks about it, you can just see so much passion and how he's saying it. It's just so inspiring. And then when you apply the knowledge that he gives you and you see the real-time results, it's like, oh, this guy really does know what he's talking about. And he's worked with so many influential people throughout all of history. I was very, very fortunate to be able to be a part of Terry Taylor's class and be able to learn how to work. And it's just so much. It's just so funny. You just got to sit beside him one day and watch him be like, "You gotta fire up, frick!" That's that babyface fire. You got it,
because he doesn't curse, correct?
Right. But he will if he gets mad. Yeah.
Lamar Jackson,
the greatest quarterback of all time. So with professional sports, when I was in elementary school, I was getting into the fandom of professional sports and everything. I was a UNC Tar Heel fan. And,
you just made Michael mad and Nick ecstatic.
Let me finish the story. So I was a Tar Heel fan, and I want to say probably like this is like 3rd or 4th grade, around that time. And I remember J.J. Redick played for Duke at the time. And I want to say it was like a national championship or something along those lines. And he dogged us out. He just absolutely demolished us. And I cried. And at that time I said, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm done with sports. I'm giving up sports. I only like wrestling. I'm done with sports. Then shortly after, I kind of gave up wrestling. So then now what I'll have, I didn't have anything, right?
Yeah.
So thankfully I got back into wrestling, and we got here. But with sports, I really had no interest until probably about like 5 or 6 years ago with my best friend, Robbie Walsh. We mentioned him earlier. He went to school for broadcasting and like sports journalism. So we talk every single day. And so he's always talking about his work, and I'm talking about my work. I'm bitching about having to take a headlock. He's bitching about whoever had more rushing yards this day. So like over time, I started to catch wind of like what he was talking about and kind of understanding how he was talking about it. And he's a diehard Ravens fan from all of time. And he was like, you got to see Lamar Jackson. And I was like, okay. So then I see Lamar. You know, I'm a big fan of LeBron James, you know. And just these guys that are just so talented that, like, even if you don't know the sport, you can tell, like, this dude's a freak.
Yeah.
And when I saw Lamar, I was like, holy crap, this dude's a freak. I like this guy. So then I started watching just because of him. And then the more and more I kept watching, I was like, man, I think I'm really starting to get back into this. So now I'm a diehard Ravens fan. I'll be at the game opener in 2 days against the Raiders. Can't wait. Where Lamar Jackson will be just heaving bombs, I'm sure. Probably score 100 points.
He will break every passing record in a single game.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You have been, like, I've been around you for quite, like, almost a decade now. You've, for almost the entire time I've known you, been with the same girl the entire time. What's the secret to that kind of longevity in the wrestling business?
The secret is just knowing when to shut up. Nah, for her, I'm just kidding. I canceled. No, I don't know. I don't know. She's perfect for me. She's just always like knows how to complete me, I guess you could say. Like where I'm super lazy and a piece of trash, she's not, and it completes us really well together. I stick up for her where she maybe won't stick up for herself as much. So like we kind of like mesh well together. And we've never really gotten to a situation where we kind of hated each other. I think that helps. I don't know. That's a great question. I wish I could tell you why it still works, but I'm glad it does.
Well, and she's a cool chick too.
Right. She
super
supports
cool.
me. She supports the heck out of me. That helps. She knows that it's just crazy, but she's still there, and that's what the best part is.
Absolutely. Are there any charities, social issues, or causes you think the fans at home should learn a little bit more about?
Oh my goodness. I have no idea. You're getting out of my realm now. I'm sure there are some charities out there that people should know about, but I happen to not know about many. Canceled again.
Damn. Oh, well, it's all good. Trevor Lee, what's your perfect day? You got a day to do whatever you want to do. What are you doing?
Oh, man. Okay. So Sunday's looking pretty perfect, right? So Sunday, I will be waking up around 8:30, probably 8 a.m. I got game day Ravens pants, like the actual football pants. Like the actual...
Like the ones they wear on the field?
Yeah.
Where you can put pads in them?
Yeah. I got the actual pair. I got a pair of those. So for Sunday, I'm going to be putting those on and the jersey. So I'll be in full Ravens kit in case they need me. In case a backup goes down and they need me to come in. So I'll start by getting dressed like that. You know what I mean? I will do some herbal medicine. Then I will head over to the Tailgoat, hosted by Jimmy's Famous Seafood, the best tailgate party in the world. I mean, absolutely incredible. I will be there from about 9 a.m. till the game starts at 1, so I'll be there from about 9 a.m. till about 12:50, just eating raw oysters and probably a couple shots of whiskey to go down with those raw oysters. So by 1 o'clock, I'm already asleep. But the energy of the game will keep me. So then at every third down, I will be screaming my lungs out. I'll probably get told to sit down at some point. Then again, this is all perfect. This is all how I want it to be. We win the game, like I said. Lamar Jackson 100 points. Raiders 3. We'll give them a field goal.
You gave them a field goal.
We didn't give it to them. They got it through the slip of the cracks. It was tipped, but it still went in. Then after that, we'll probably head on over to Jimmy's Seafood after that as well. At this point, I'm being carted into Jimmy's Seafood with an actual like gurney and where then we will have a seafood tower where we would then crush more seafood, where I'll be defibrillated back to life so I can then eat a couple octopus legs. Then we'll probably head on back to the room and just a little bit more herbal medicine and go to sleep. That would be a perfect day, and I think that's going to be a good Sunday.
Heck yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Plug everything you need to plug. Social media, where they can see you next, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so my social medias, I have Trevor Lee Pro on Instagram. I believe it's the same on Twitter. I wouldn't follow me on Twitter unless you want to see me talking about the Ravens for the rest of the football season. But if you want some of that content, you can head on over there, no problem. On Instagram, you might see I've been trying to get a couple cat stories out there lately. Maybe a couple pictures of the car. You know, I'm trying to get some stuff out there. Terrible at it. But that's really all I got, Tommy.
Hell yeah. Can we hug it out before you go? It's always good to see you.
It's great seeing you, Tommy.
Guys, the one and only, formerly known as Cameron Grimes, but all of you know him better as Trevor Lee. Thank you for being here. And we'll be back in just a few moments with more VGT. We're talking about the bag? The bag? The all-out bot. Wait, is it the I Trust Michael or which one am I talking about, Steak?
Fallout.